They thought she was just a child, weak, helpless, trembling in the dark as monsters closed in with cruel grins. Chains rattled, claws scraped against the stone, and their laughter filled the air. But then she lifted her head, her small voice cutting through the chaos like a blade. He's already on his way. The monsters froze, their smirks fading, because they all knew who she meant. A human. The one they couldn't kill, the one who tore through armies like fire through dry grass. And now, he was coming for her. The battlefield was not quiet, it never was. The stench of burned flesh and smoke clung to the air, the ground torn apart by artillery, claw marks, and blood. In the ruins of what was once a village, a child no older than 8 sat in the shadow of a broken stone wall. Her hair was matted, her skin streaked with dirt and ash. She should have been sobbing, but her eyes, wide, silver, and steady, held a calm that unsettled the monsters surrounding her. They had come in snarling packs, their scales glistening under the dim firelight. Their maws dripped venom, their clawed hands twitching with anticipation. These were apex predators from another world, bred for destruction, used as shock troops in the endless war against humanity. And tonight, they thought they had found easy prey. The largest of them stepped forward, its twisted mouth pulling into a cruel grin. "Little one," it rasped, its guttural voice thick with hunger. "There is no one left. No soldiers, no saviors. Only us. You will scream, and your bones will decorate our camp." The others chuckled, a sound like knives scraping stone. The girl lowered her head, her small fingers brushing against the broken chain around her wrist. Then, quietly, with a voice almost too soft to hear, she whispered, "He's coming to get me." The laughter faltered. The air shifted. Every creature knew the stories. They had seen legions fall, watched war beasts crumble under a single man's fury. The human, the one they could not break. And before they could silence the girl, the ground itself answered her words. A thunderous crash split the horizon. Fire blossomed, brighter than any torch, and a figure emerged through the smoke. He wore dented, blood-stained armor, his helmet cracked, one shoulder exposed where molten shrapnel had torn away the plating. His sword was not clean, it was scarred, blackened, and still dripping red. His breath was ragged, his body broken, but his eyes burned with a light the monsters had learned to fear. The girl's lips curled into the faintest smile. The predators recoiled, their confidence fading. "Impossible," one hissed. "He bled out days ago." The human spat blood into the dirt and raised his weapon. "You're right," he said. "I should be dead. But she called for me, and that means I'm not done yet." What followed was not a battle. It was slaughter. He moved like a storm-given flesh. Every swing of his blade carved through hide and bone. Limbs flew, screams tore the night apart. The monsters attacked in waves, clawing, biting, spewing venom, but each time they reached him, they fell. His armor shattered further, his skin split open, but he did not slow. He fought as though every breath was borrowed, and every heartbeat stolen from death itself. Behind him the girl stood, her small hands pressed to her chest, whispering over and over, "He's here. He came for me." One beast lunged past the human, jaws wide, reaching for her. Without hesitation he turned, took the bite to his arm, and rammed his sword through the monster's skull. Blood poured from the wound, but he wrenched free, teeth clenched, forcing his body to keep moving. The ground became a graveyard of broken creatures, their smirks erased, their confidence shattered. But the human was fading. His breaths came heavier, his steps slower. The monsters realized the truth. He was not invincible. He was burning himself out, body breaking under the weight of too many wounds. The largest of them remained, its scales darker, thicker, its eyes glowing with cruel intelligence. It stepped forward over the corpses of its kin, snarling, "You cannot kill us all, human. Your flesh will fail. Your bones will snap." And the girl, his sword pierced the monster's chest before it finished. The strike was brutal, desperate, fueled by sheer will. The beast roared, thrashing, but the human drove the blade deeper until it split through the other side. Both fell to their knees. The girl rushed forward, her bare feet splashing in pools of blood. She knelt beside him, her tiny hands shaking as they touched his broken armor. "Don't leave me," she whispered. His face was pale, lips cracked, but when he looked at her he smiled. Not the smile of a soldier, but of a man who had fulfilled a promise. "I told you," he said, his voice barely audible. "I came for you." She shook her head, tears streaming down her dirt-streaked cheeks. "You'll stay, you have to stay." He reached up, his blood-stained fingers brushing her hair from her face. "No, I can't. But listen." His hand trembled, but he pressed it against her chest, over her heart. "I'm here now. Always. In here. She clutched his hand with both of hers, sobbing. Around them the battlefield was silent, the last monster twitching in death, its smirk gone forever. The human's breathing slowed, his grip weakening. His eyes lingered on the girl one final time, filled with pride, with peace. Then the fire in them dimmed. His hand fell away. The girl cried out, shaking him, begging, but his body was still. The storm was gone. Yet the monsters had not won. They would never smirk again at the sight of a child, never laugh at humanity's weakness. Because tonight they had learned the truth, that even dying, even broken, a single human could still tear apart their armies for the sake of one small voice. The girl rose, wiping her tears with shaking hands. She picked up his sword, far too heavy for her, dragging it through the dirt as she walked. Her steps were unsteady, but her eyes glowed with the same fire his once held. And in the silence, the monsters that still lurked in the distance did not move. They watched. They understood. The human was dead, but his legacy lived on in her. And the war was not over,